I'm Shazin. So from this subject, we are going to from this lecture we have to see the balance of payments account, right? Balance of payments means it's a current account of the country, right? It's basically include of 4 items. First one is trade balance. Trade balance means goods, right? Second one is services. Third one is income account. Income account is income from the foreign abroad, right? Sri Lanka income from foreign abroad. Most of the time in Middle East country, that slavery workers will be the most of the foreign income for the Sri Lanka, because you will understand this, they have went because of their family situation. Family is poor, so they can't work here and find the job, so they have to go outside, and in Middle East country they find the job and they sending the money here. But what about the professionals, chartered accountant, MBBS, engineers? They are going there to settle there. They will be working in UK, Europe, UK and some of the Europe country and US, and they're working there, and they're not sending the money here. They're saving the money and they buy the apartment, and they're living there. The children also going in that country school. That's why all the time foreign income will be most of the foreign income are coming from the Middle East. Not only that, because if Middle East countries foreign income is not there in our country will be face a very difficult situation, right? That is also, you will understand that. And trade balance, service, and the foreign income, and the this foreign direct investments and the borrowing. Foreign direct investment here and the borrowing. Foreigners invest here. We have borrowed from the foreigners. So foreigners like invest here. So we have invested outside. So foreign direct investment, that is also having the income to our country. Then capital account balance include the direct investment abroad and the international borrowing. For journalists or economists speak of the balance of payment, they are usually referring to the deficit or surplus of the current account, or possibly to the surplus and deficit on trade in goods or services. This is known as the balance of trade. In your syllabus, actually I have to say this, balance of payments account not been broadly explained. You don't need to understand all the deep understanding of this balance of payment, like economics in the A level. And also you are not going to be a doctorate in economic, right? You just having the idea to what can be impact to your business. The subject is business environment and economics, so you have to understand how this foreign balance of payment will impact to your business, right? So in 2012 Sri Lanka had a trade balance deficit amount 50% of GDP. If trade balance deficit there, government will have to find a way to fill up that. Then it will be equilibrium, right? So in Sri Lanka, oil import bill accounted for estimated 27% of total imports, while its pro-growth policies have resulted in an investment goods import component 24% of total. This statistical information, you don't need this, right? In 2012 had a trade balance deficit amounting to 12% of GDP. It's not a current account deficit, it's a trade balance. Export and import, 12% deficit in GDP means 12% our import is export is less than the imports, so it will be more impact to the GDP, right? It should be zero at least. Most of the countries is plus. In Japan, China having the surplus of trade balance account. They are not importing anything. They importing few items. Most of the time China importing the even the meals, even the essential goods also not importing. They most of the time they importing the medicines. The labors also not importing. They are sending the labors outside and taking the foreign income to their country, right? Export is high in Japan, in India, in China, those type of country, right? And equilibrium in the balance payment, balance of the payments is in equilibrium if over a period of time the exchange rate remains stable and autonomous credit and debits are equal in value. The annual trade in goods or services in the overall balance. Our equilibrium will not exist in these things. Require the government to introduce measures which create unemployment or higher price, sacrifice economic growth, or impose trade barriers, because exchange currency rate should be fixed. It should be in one value in order to do the business. If fluctuating up and down, so no one will come and buy from our product. Sometimes it's happening, right? When exchange rate is increasing, exporters getting benefit, but importers getting worsen. Importers, when importing $100 of a good item, so $100 $1 price is 180 rupees today, for example, or 190 rupees today. So what 33 months, so 1 month credit has been given, so next month it may be 200 rupees. I have to give the 200 into $100 in next month. So importer will have the problem. So if what about the devaluation? If exchange is devalued, exporter have the problem. So it should be fixed in order to make the more plans and do the export and import properly. That's why it's an equilibrium should be meet if exchange rate is fixed only, right? Surplus or deficit in the current account, a problem arises for the country's balance of payment when the country has a deficit on current account year after, although there can be a problem too. For a country which enjoys a continual current account surplus, the problem of deficit of current account are probably more obvious. When a country is continually in deficit, it is importing more goods and services than it is exporting. This leads to two possible consequences. When importing more, our money going out, it's outflow. Import means outflow. If export means inflow. If outflow is more, definitely we will have the overdraft balance, right? Then if it will lead to two consequences. It may borrow more and more from abroad. If overdraft is increases, we have to fund that deficit. We have to find a borrowing from the foreign country. If you can't find the money through the export, right? You have to understand export should be increased otherwise, right? Otherwise, good example, you take your home income like an export, right? If you're working somewhere and taking the money to your family, so it's like export. You're giving your works to others and taking the money, right? Expense also they are in your home. If expense is higher than your income, definitely you will have the less money. At the end of the month, you will have no money. So for example, take last 3 days is available, right, in the month. So last 3 days you don't have the money to eat, money to go outside. You have to take the money, you have to take the loan from your friend, you have to take the loan from your relatives. It's like that. Same thing in a country also, right? Take a simple example and understand it, right? Then it may sell more and more asset. If you have no money, right, finally you will sell your phone to find the money. You will sell your watch to find the money. You will sell your some goods to find the money. Assume it will be continue more than 12 months, more than 10 years. What will be impact to your family, your home? After 10 years, you will definitely will be a poor getting poor finally, right? That's what's happening in Sri Lanka, like a Sri Lanka country, right? Like country like Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bangladesh, India also same thing. Then Pakistan, those South African countries, most of the countries are having less exports, right? And then even so, demand to buy the country's currency in foreign exchange market will be weaker than the supply of the country's currency for sale. As a consumer, there will be pressure on exchange rate of depreciate in value. If a country has a surplus on a current account year after year, it might invest the surplus abroad. Or if a country has the more surplus, if you have the more money with you saving, you will not keep your money in your home. It's not security. You will invest share market, you will invest the saving account, you will invest fixed deposit. Same thing in the country also, right? If you can't understand any broader definition, broader explanation, take a small and understand. Take you and understand, right? So working capital management, you will learn management accounting. You will easily understand by taking you, right? So I'm not doing that subject. For example, take working capital management. In working capital management, you should ensure day-to-day operation should not be stopped due to lack of the cash, right? For example, if you learn like that, you will not understand. For example, you take like this, you are going outside today, right, from your home to your class. How much of money you will have in your purse? Maybe you will have the transportation, bus money, right? Second one, you will have the meal, right? Morning and evening, and morning and afternoon and evening, some snacks and tea. So you will at least save 500 rupees. So more than the 500 rupees, you will at least save 1500. So 2000 mostly you bring in your purse. So tomorrow morning you will see my purse only having 400 rupees. I will fill up with 1600 and 2000. So always how much of money you keeping in your purse? That is working capital management, right? How much of money you should keep in your purse to face the day-to-day activities, right? So easy ways are there to understand the difficult theories, right? And how can government rectify current accounts? It's very easy. Government can go for the loan, or government can devalue their appreciate their currency. Stronger the currency, they will say, no, our $1 is equal to 1 rupee, means we are strong enough, right? Everyone believes strong country, so our export will be increased, but our import will be increased, but export will not be increased, right? For export increase, we have to devalue our money. Can't help, right? We have to show our goods are cheaper in market, right? For example, take we are selling 10 kilogram of tea at 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees, 10 kilogram tea, 1000 kilogram per 1000, right? 10 kilogram for 10,000. So 10 kilogram 10,000 means if a dollar is 100 rupees, you can give the $100. If dollar is 200 rupees, he will give the $50. So it's a profitable to US company, US customer, giving the $50 and taking the 10 kilogram of tea, right? It's like that, right? And depreciation, the deficit current account may be rectified by one of the more following measures. Depreciation of the currency, called devaluation, deliberately legislation by government to example by. So if we reduce the devalue means our currency value will be reduced. Our currency value will be reduced in terms of foreign currency. So it means if under 90 rupees today, if you make the 200 rupees tomorrow, it is devalued, right? Our currency value will be reduced. $1, for $1 we have to give 200 rupees. After 6 months or 1 year, $1 we have to give 250 rupees. So our value of the currency will be reduced. That is devalue. If you do that, what will be impact? Export will be increased. So deficit can be fulfilled by the exports, right? Then direct measure to restrict imports. Stop the imports. Most of the time I already told that vehicle imports stop. So not only vehicle import, there are many imports there. Many imports, government has given the more tariff over that, right? Fabrics also there. Then most of the essential goods not importing, because we have to encourage our in-house production. Most of the rice and dal, the meat item, the sausages item, most of the time imports are restricted, right? And the biscuits, right? Foreign biscuits are very less in Sri Lanka, right? And also vehicles, right? And quota also given. You can import only this much of quantity of this product, right? The domestic deflation to reduce aggregate demand in the domestic economy. Same thing. Deflation means reduce the price level. If you reduce the price level, automatically our expense will be reduced, right? Take your home. If you are going to buy a rice 10 kilogram, you will pay 1,000 rupees, 100 kilogram per kilo. So if you reduce that price, your expense will be reduced. So it's also good. Your saving will be increased. Deficit. Take a simple examples, right, to understand. To increase the export, we have to reduce our currency price. Second one, we have to reduce the price level. Third one, we have to stop the import. Import should be reduced, export should be increased. So our income will be increased. In other end, we have to reduce the expense, right? The first two are expenditure switching policies. Expenditure switching policy. First two, A and B, which transfer resources and expenditure away from import towards a domestic product. The last is expenditure reducing policy. Expenditure switching policy. Expenditure switching. Switching means we spending more money on import. We earning less money on export. So we have to switch this. We have to change this. We have to go import here and export here. We have to stop the import and increase the export. Switching the flows, right? Final one is reducing the expense, right? It may be come in your paper, right? Expenditure switching. What mean by expenditure switching? And they give the 4 answer. You should understand, to increase the exports, you have to devalue your price. To increase the foreign investment here, you have to devalue your price, right? Devalue your currency. Depreciation or devaluation of the currency. Rising exchange rate may reflect relatively low inflation and strong trade and general economic performance in the country. Conversely, poor economic performance and high inflation will result in currency depreciation, devaluation. Note, a devaluation occurs when the value of the currency is lowered in a fixed exchange rate system. Right? A depreciation occurs when an exchange rate is reduced under a floating exchange rate system. There are 2 exchange rate systems there. We will going to learn the next topic, exchange rate, floating and fixed. Fixed exchange rate are, if you fix the exchange rate, you will not change due to the demand or supply. It is a very critical, right? It's not easy, right? It depend on the supply and demand of our currency. We have to give the chance of fluctuating our price of our rupee value, our currency, right? Then only we can fight against. We can try to increase the export, try to reduce the import. If you fix thing, no encouragement will be there. Fixed, no. So we can invest in next year also. We can export in next year. After 10 years also, I can take the money outside from. So there is no encouragement. That is also a risk here. And as a result of fall in the value of the currency, exports would become relatively cheaper for foreign buyers. Right? I already told this. And so the demand for export would rise. Right? The extent of the increase in export revenue would depend on several factors. The price elasticity of the demand for the goods in export market. If price is increased little, if demand is increasing more, means it's better to reduce our price, right? Good example, tea, right? If tea's price is reduced, there are many country there to buy our tea, right? And that's why control price is imposed on the tea, right? And the guarantee price is imposed on the tea. Then extent to which industry is able to respond to export opportunity by either producing more goods or switching for domestic to export market. So it may also be depend on the price elasticity of supply. With greater demand for their goods, producers should be able to achieve more increase in prices according to the law of supply or of demand. And the willingness of supply to produce more would then be dependent on price elasticity of supply. If price elasticity of supply also increase, we can produce more and do the export more and fill up the surplus deficit of what I explained is given in the note, right? The volume, I read in the second para, volume of import would fall, although whether or not the total value of the import fell too would depend on the elasticity of demand for import. If demand for import is inelastic, the volume of demand would fall by less than their cost goes up, so that the total value of import would rise. If demand for import is elastic, the total value of import would fall, since the fall in volume would outweigh the increase in the unit cost. Same thing, right? You think other side, right? If what is the impact for export if the value of the currency is devalued? So if one want to increase the import, what you should do? You should again appreciate your currency. Then your currency will be less value in the market, and you can import in less cost, right? Other side, they say effect in fall in exchange rate, the balance of payment, effect of fall in exchange rate. are likely to vary in short term and long term. The immediate effect will depend on the elasticity of the demand for import. Demand is likely to be fairly inelastic in the short term, and so total expenditure of import will rise. Export will be cheaper in overseas market in foreign currency, but in the short term, exporter might be unable to increase their output to meet the high demand, right? You can't increase the production quickly. You will have to wait at least 3 months, 6 months. You have to increase first increase your capacity first, right? You have to increase the capacity. You have to put up the factory. You have to find the laborers to work in that factory, plant we need, right? It's not take as a vehicle manufacturing. You need more plant and more people to work there, right? Then after time, like production, export of import substitute can be expected to rise, so that the volume of export will rise. Thereby increase the value of export, and the volume of the import will fall further. This will improve the current account balance. So importation cost will be reduced. So devaluation, right? What will be effective? Devaluation. Devalue done, export will be increased, import will be reduced. More cost to buy outside. Right? I believe you understood. Right? Devaluation is main thing. Devaluation means our currency price is increases. In terms of $1 is 200 rupees. $1 is 210 rupees means devaluation, right? Then the improvement in the balance of payment. Once you do the devaluation, so I will show you. So 200 rupees per dollar, right? Per dollar, right? If you import a phone, right? Price is $20. How much you have to pay in terms of dollar? $20, right? 20. You have to pay 4,000. If price is 110, 210, devalue. You are importing. How much you have to pay? 221, 42. 4,200. Your import is increased. Import cost is increased. You will not buy. Right? You will wait until the price reduces. For example, take same example as the export. So 200, right? You have to sell. You are selling the 1 kilogram of tea. 1 kilogram of tea is say $2. $2, right? So our price is 200. So you will receive how much? 400 rupees you receive today. If this is 210, how much you will receive? 420 rupees. So export income will be increased, right? Now you understood. Then you will see here, it's like a J shape, right? It's like a J shape. It says J, right? J shape. Saying J shape, right? No, this J, no? J. If your paper is given the J shape, this line, this is the export and import line, right? It's a current account, right? Balance on current account should be 0, right? This is equilibrium, right? Then deficit, you will meet the deficit. Then you devalue, then increase your export and you will meet the right? Till it increases. After some time it will be fixed. You can't export more. There's a capacity now always, right? Then effect of currency appreciation, that is other side. Same notes, other side. I will read the last notes. The diminished volume of export would have domestic consequence. Inventory would gradually build up, leading to a curtailment of production. If affect currency appreciate, right? Currency value is increases. No one will buy our product. Export will be stopped. So our goods will be stocked in our store, right? In turn, this could result in higher unit cost and as fixed cost less effectively spread, right? Fixed cost will be increased. Inventory holding cost will be increased. Factory cost, warehouse cost, security cost, right? Insurance cost, and expired of the inventory. That is also inventory holding cost, right? Short time working and possibly labor redundancy might follow. You have to reduce our staff. If income is less, profit is less, everything is stopped. So where we can find the money? You have to stop the labels also, right? Some investment decision might be deferred or invest cancelled together. It means finally we close the business, right? Finally we have to close the business due to this currency appreciation, right? Only one side is that. Other side, import will be increased, right? Import become cheaper. Strong currency means import become cheaper. Import will not automatically increase. Then protectionist measures. So we have to find a correct way to keep our export and import account. It means a trade balance. Trade balance deficit is 18% in Sri Lanka 2018. So how we can stop that? How we can make it this zero? No deficit or no surplus, right? Another way of attempting to rectify balance of payment deficit would take direct protectionist measures if trying to reduce the volume of import. These measures might reduce the following. Most of them government involved. Government are responsible to make our current account deficit or surplus, right? So import tariffs, import duty, right, for the vehicles is a good example. Then import quotas, how much of you can, everything is given in notes. I already explained this. Total ban or embargo on import of certain countries, placing administrative burden on important, right. So end of the right. So with that, balance of payment is finished.